Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I like to share any and all things that bring me joy, hence the name Sharelation. Today's video is sort of like a part 2 of one of my earlier videos where I share some products that I've purchased in Japan. I separated this video from that one because it would just get too long, and this is mainly focused on cosmetic or makeup products. So without further ado, I'll share it from right to left. Now, I purchased these in Japan while I was traveling there, of course, pre-pandemic. I like to go there with my family during the summers when the kids are off from school. And throughout the years that I've been going to Japan, I've seen so many different cosmetic brands and makeup products. I do like to try and test them out from the various different pharmacies. These are not very expensive, not like the high-end sort of makeup brands, because I'm not really very good with makeup, and I like to keep things simple. So it's more for just something fun to try out, and of course, just to get myself ready for the day and cover any blemishes or dark circles that I might have. So for the right hand side of the screen here, these are more concealer type products. So I'll go through that first, and then we'll go through these eyeshadow, blush, highlighter type products on the left. So we'll start with this one. This is called the Nude Maker Gel by Majolica, and of course all of these products are made in Japan. This is SPF 50. I'm very adamant on making sure I have good sunscreen, good protection throughout the day. So this is sort of like an all-in-one, all-purpose kind of product. It says it's a lotion, essence gel, makeup base, sunscreen, and color controller. So in the back, I don't read Japanese, but it just shows it's 25 grams. So you can see it's like a small tube that you can carry around in your bag, or even for travel. It's quite, it's quite compact in that sense. So let's test this out, just show you the consistency. So it is a liquid type of consistency. It says it's like a gel. Can't really say it's like a gel, but it is pretty smooth on the skin. All of these products are not really sticky when after I leave it on my skin, because I really don't like that kind of feeling. But you can see it blends very well. My skin is quite fair, so a lot of these concealer type products, I usually get the lightest color that's available when I'm in Japan. They do have a lot of testers, so it's easy to just swatch it on your hand like this and just to see if it matches. So you can see it does blend in very well, quite smooth. It's not sticky, and it does have sort of like a matte finish. Nothing shiny or anything like that. So if you blend it very well, I usually use my fingers or like a beauty blender. It does go on pretty easily. Next is a product called Dramatic Lighting Base by this brand called Maquillage. This is SPF 30. This is also 25 grams in terms of the size. So it is comparable, like the height is actually the same, except this is thinner, a little flatter. This is a little rounder, but it's the same size. So this one is more of like a base coat under after you put on like moisturizer and before you put on your makeup. I use this sort of like a foundation. It doesn't really do a whole lot of color correcting because it is more of like a light base coat. You can see the packaging, it is a little bit iridescent. And you can see here, it is like a liquidy kind of consistency, like liquid / creamy. So it does go on very easily like the other products. And after you blend it out, it is very easy to blend as well. After you blend it out, again with my finger or beauty blender, it does stay on your skin quite nicely. This has a bit of a shimmer to it. It might be hard to show, but it does have a little bit like of iridescence to it as compared to this side of my hand. This was the first product and this is the one that I just put on, the lighting base. So it's a good like primer slash base product. It does give you a little bit of shine. My finger will show it a little bit more. It is a little bit like iridescent, but not too much, like a nice healthy glow, if you will. So it goes on like that. Okay, so let's move on to this one here. This is also a sort of like a foundation, liquidy foundation type product. It's called Muji Karoo Base in the color pink beige. This one is 30 milliliters, SPF 50. And this one is quite liquidy. You can hear that little ball inside, similar to like those little balls that are in the nail polish to keep the product nice and fresh. So when I use this, you can see, I'll test it on my wrist. It does come out very easily. It's quite liquidy compared to the first two products. So you can see it's not like so liquidy that it drips, but you can see it does come down the skin, and it is kind of like a watery base. So again, blend it out. And it blends very easily. This has a more silky kind of finish. Again, not sticky, and it does blend quite well against my skin tone. You can see it is sort of like a matte finish as well. It doesn't have any kind of shine to it, so it gives very light coverage. Generally, I don't really need very heavy coverage. I do have quite a bit of freckles on my face. Like you can even see on my arms here, I have some freckles or breckles, body freckles. So I can't really cover it all unless I, really pack it on, and then it can get quite cakey. So I just like to do a light coverage like this just to have some, even skin color or skin tone. And of course I would use some of the concealers, which I'll show next, to kind of hide some of my dark circles or any spots that I have that are a little darker. So you can see here, it goes on very smoothly like this. Okay, so those were those three products. This is a powder finish, which I'll show at the very end after I do the concealers. So this one is called Shiseido Spot Cover Foundation. This one is like in this little jar, or little jar. It has a very thick, creamy consistency. You can see like that. So if I just take my finger and swipe it a little bit, it comes off like so. And this is more for concealing blemishes. So let's try it higher on my arm where you see some of these freckles here. It does do the job, I would say, but I try not to use too much of it because, again, I don't want to have such a thick coating on my skin. And it's just really just to hide certain dark spots and give my skin a little bit of a evenness to the color. So you see, it didn't really hide it, but I didn't also put too much on it. It does the job for concealing dark circles. At least it hides it a little bit more. It doesn't really completely hide it for me, but again, I'm not really looking for like a heavy makeup look, just something that can make myself look more, freshened up and not too tired. Okay, so this one goes on like that. Again, I usually just dab it with my finger or a beauty blender. So this one I got again in the lightest color, which is called S100. This is 20 grams. And one thing I really like about buying things in Japan is their pricing is pretty standard. You see that the pricing is often on the package itself. So for example, this one, it says 1,200 yen. For simplicity's sake, I usually convert $1 to 100 yen. So just so it's easier to do the math. So this would be about $12. Usually the US dollar is a little bit stronger, but just for quick math, that's how I calculate it. So this one is the Shiseido Spot Cover Foundation. Okay, next are two concealers that I use very often. I kind of rotate it depending again on how much coverage I need. This one is called Suzanne Highlight Concealer. And this one is very convenient just to travel with because it's in this little tube. You take the product out and there's quite a good amount of it on the brush or the little sponge here. So if I try it like this, you can see it goes on very, this is more liquidy than the next one, but it does do the job. Again, this is just like a concealer. So if I don't need very heavy coverage, this does do the job. You can see as I dab it on my wrist here, it does cover some blemishes. Again, not completely, but it's enough to just give myself a kind of a fresher look. Okay, so this goes on like this. It does have like a matte finish as well. None of these really have like a high shine to it after you use it, which I like because I'm not really looking to emphasize anything particular on my face. This brand here is called Can Make. They do a huge line of like eyeshadows, even lipsticks, lip balms, and of course concealer. So this is called Cover and Stretch Concealer UV Waterproof. I think it is quite waterproof because when I use it in the summer, and if you're sweating a lot, like in Japan, if you're there in the summer, it can get very hot and humid. I think it does stay on quite well. It's, it doesn't come off and like there's streaks of concealer coming down my face. So I think it is somewhat waterproof. And again, when I use this, I dab it on. This is a little bit of a creamier consistency. And I just use it again for my under eye circles and if I have any blemishes on my face, if there's like darker freckles or anything like that. So this one is a little bit thicker, creamier. But again, it comes, when after I put it on my skin, it's not really shiny. It has that matte finish, which I like. Okay, so these are all the concealer products. Now this one, there isn't any English on the back. It is SPF 20. And here, sometimes you see the price a little bit hidden. So this one is $1,500, which is about 15 US dollars. I don't really know the brand of this, but it just says Club Airy Touch Powder. In Japan, they have a lot of these kind of powder products. So if I can find the links to all of these items below, I will definitely link it. But like this one in particular, I may not be able to find because I just randomly saw it in a department store and I thought I would just give it a shot. So this comes with a really cute little poof. It's very soft and fluffy. And you can see if I wipe some product on, it comes on very easily. And this has a very light, fluffy, powdery finish to it. It is a little bit lighter, so I'm careful not to put too much on because I don't want myself looking like, a pale ghost. But it is good for just sort of setting your makeup and giving yourself like a bit of a finishing touch just to set everything. So it goes on like this. You can see it is a little powdery. Actually, if I wipe it off, you can see a little bit of it on my finger, but not a whole lot. It is very light coverage. So I noticed that Japanese products in general are not too strong. Like even the scent, the coverage, even the colors are not very, very strong. Of course, you can find darker colors, but in general, everything's very light and neutral. And you'll see this in some of the products that I'll show next in terms of like the highlighters, the eyeshadows, and whatnot. So first, I'll go through this one. This is also by the brand Can Make, and it's called the Clear Coat Mascara. Might be a little hard to show this, but I'm not a type of person that likes to use a lot of mascara or if at all. I just use this to sort of enhance my natural lashes, and it goes on exactly like it says, like a clear coat, a clear gel kind of consistency, just to emphasize my lashes a little bit. So it just goes on like that. Okay, there's no particular code or color. I think it's probably 01 to say it's the lowest color or the lightest color. In this case, it's clear. Okay. Next, I don't have a lot of lip products anymore because I actually used it all up. What I did notice is for Japanese kind of lipsticks or lip balms, when you use it, it does actually use up pretty quickly. I don't know if it's good or bad thing. I like to try and test things out, so I don't mind that I can use it up very quickly. I'd rather use it than have it expire. So this one is by the brand Nivea. It's called Nivea Rich Care and Color, and this particular color is called French Pink. So when I put it on, it is a very, very, very light pink. It's sort of like it is really like a tinted lip balm. I liked this because it is very moisturizing. You can even see there's a bit of a shine on the balm itself. And of course, when you put it on, it's very moisturizing. It stays on your lips. It's not really sticky. I tried this in the French Pink color. There are different colors as well. I'll try to link them down below, but they all come off like a balm. And I use it more like a chapstick or a lip balm as opposed to a lipstick. It does have a little bit of color, like you can see on my hand here. So if you like that, just a tiny bit of color, this is a good option. Okay. Finally, here there are, this is a blush, a highlighter, and sort of some eyeshadows. So we'll go through the blush first. This one is also called Can Make by the brand Can Make, and it's called Powder Cheeks. And in the back, you'll see, I don't know if it has a color code, so this is probably the color code PW28. And here you can see the price. Usually it's in like a little box. So this one is C550, so about $5.50. I don't often use blush, so I didn't want to spend a whole lot on that, on this particular product. And I was just trying it out for fun. So it comes with this really cute brush. It's very soft to the touch, and when you swipe it on, I'm going to test these products on my right hand. When you swipe the brush, the product comes on quite easily, and when you just put it on your cheeks, it has a very, very, very subtle color. Actually, in this case, you can't even really see it, so I'll try to get more product on. So here you see the product. Okay, this one takes a few brushes, but hopefully the color is coming across. I'm sure when you have it on your cheeks, it's a little bit different. So if you're looking for something like a very subtle sort of highlight, this does sort of do the job. Sometimes I even use this as eyeshadow. So if I try to swatch it with just my finger, it comes on like this. And this might show a little bit more on my wrist or my hand. So you can see it's like a very, very light pink. Very, very subtle. I really have to put on a lot of product just to show it here. You see? So if you wanted something like a very light pink as an eyeshadow, this can work too. And clearly it is a blush, but you can use this multiple ways. Okay, so that's this blush here. This one is also by the brand Can Make. It's called Jewelry Shadow Veil. I love the Japanese packaging because it literally looks like jewelry in this clear packaging. So I thought that was really cute. This is in the color 03. The price, let's see, it's right, very tiny. It says 600, so 600 yen or about $6. So this one, you can see both colors are pretty similar. This left one is like a more pink kind of shade, and this is more on the beige side. But honestly, when you put it on, I'll use a different finger to swatch this. It does come off pretty similar. So here, as I put it on my hand, you see it's like a little purpley pink kind of color, and it's very shimmery, but not overly exaggerated. It has a very subtle sheen to it, or shine. When you move around, you can see it. This one here, I'll show this color right next to it. Can you see this one is a little bit more subtle actually. They're both very similar in color, and it just has a very nice shine or highlight to it. So they call this like a jewelry shadow veil because it does sparkle like jewelry. So I like to use this on top of my lids after I apply my eyeshadow. Okay, so we'll go through, let's go through this one first. So this is a proper eyeshadow palette. I found this in Muji. This one and this one is from Muji, but I bought it in Japan. Now in the States, they do have Muji locations in major cities. I can't say that you can find the exact one, but some larger Mujis have a cosmetic station, so you can find colors similar to this. So this one, you can see it's just 4 shades. This one is, I assume that this is the color name, and this means 4 colors, made in Japan. It's very simple packaging, as with all Muji products. So I'll swatch each really quickly. So the pink goes on very nicely. So you can see it is like a pearly finish. So it goes on like this. Okay, the purple will probably show a little bit more. You see the side of my hand here. This is the purple, this is the pink. The dark purple will show even more. Okay, so this is the darkest of all of the shades, but it blends very easily and very well. Look, if I just rub it a little bit more, it kind of blends very nicely. And the last color is this sort of white pearly color. I'm putting on a lot because I really want to try and emphasize the color for you to see, but it goes on like this. So this is like all 4 colors are very shimmery, shiny, pearly finish. Now, if I try to, let's say, for example, blend these 2 together in the middle, it does blend very easily. I tend to use some of these kind of pearlier finishes because it's easier to blend. It's a little harder to mess up, and even if you mess it up, it's not too obvious. So there, see, I blended these 2 together, so you have like a bit of a lighter purple kind of finish. And it's small enough to put in your cosmetic pouch when you're traveling, or even when you're going out. It's literally much smaller than the palm of my hand. This one is the same size. I bought this one because I kind of liked the colors. This is like a highlighter finish, also from Muji. So the color to the far right is probably similar to the pearly white color I just tried, but I'll just show you here on my wrist. See, I really have to take a lot of product off just to show it on my skin. And I find that a lot of Japanese products are like that, very subtle colors, nothing too dramatic or crazy. This one is the middle color, which is like a light purple. You can see it really doesn't go on a whole lot. So if I grab more product like that, you can see it's still very, very subtle. I'm running out of fingers, but here's the last one, is the darkest purple, which is more like a lavender color. You can see this one has more of like a powdery finish, not too much shine. And I find that when I use products like this, it just gives my face, like, you know, it just brightens up my face, so I look like I'm more awake. That's the goal that I'm looking to achieve. So I'm definitely no makeup artist or makeup guru by any means, but this is just some basic things I use just to make myself look more awake. All right, so last two products here. This one is by Suzanne, same brand as this highlighter over here, called Pearl Glow Highlighter. And this is in the color 01. The price here says $600, so about $6 again. So you can see nothing here is really like over $20. I think the most expensive one might be this one at $15. So this one comes with another nice brush. This is a highlighter, so it's meant to highlight your cheeks. So if I use the brush like this, the product comes on quite easily. Again, you really have to like swipe it a lot if you want something more emphasized, but I'll just put it on my arm here. You can see it has a very nice, again, subtle glow or highlight. So I like to, you know, start off something very subtle. If I want to build on it, you can get more and add to it. So that's the nice thing about some of these Japanese products, that you can't really go too crazy with it and it ends up, you know, making you look like a clown. Last product here. This is called Macolier, and that's really the only kind of English text that's on this packaging. So this one is called in the color BE101, made in Japan. It doesn't have the price, but it was about like $5-6. So this one is very similar. Again, like you can see a pattern here, the shine and shimmer. This I usually use on top of my lids. It is a little bit of a creamy consistency. You can see when I take the product on my finger, it is a little bit, it goes on a lot easier. So when I put this on my lids, I just kind of brush it on, dab it on with my finger. You can see again, it has this very natural kind of shimmer or shine to it, just to, you know, highlight the eyes a little bit, give it more of a look that I'm awake, I'm present, you know, I'm more or less put together. You see, like, so that's how it comes. This is how it looks on my skin. Okay, so that is all the products that I have. I do use this quite often, pretty much on a daily basis. I rotate it. I do have palettes from other brands like Charlotte Tilbury. I like the Pillow Talk. It might be good to do a comparison of how those colors come on my skin versus some of these, because these are very subtle. That is a little bit more pigmented. If you're interested in a video like that, I can do a comparison just to show the differences of like Japanese products versus I'll call it like other brands that are more well known outside of Japan. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope this was useful. If you were interested in any Japanese makeup products, I would say in general they're all very similar in nature, like very subtle, very easy to use, quite inexpensive if you're buying the drugstore brands, I'll call it. So thanks again. Please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Bye.